Hello, folks. My name is Detroit Miracle and Corey Gerard, and I'd like to welcome you all to Monster Wars. Now you will visualize and see part 2 of the epic struggle battle between the Golden Fairy Lanae Pervy and Cobra Commander. So sit back and enjoy. After that statement, the lights come back on and only the Golden Fairy is seen in this throne room. Then the three Cobra guards are shown waking up, so Lanae walks over and shocks them back to sleep. Now she hears the commander say, "Hi there," so she turns and faces the Cobra leader. She then grabs his mask with both of her hands, then his mirror mask shocks her as shown doing so. Lanae then flames her hair and eyes back up, but the commander puts an energy rod to her left shoulder and double shocks the Golden Fairy. Next, Lanae breaks free from his electric stick and mask, but falls to the ground as her eyes and hair lose their flames. Now Cobra Commander laughs while Lanae appears to be in a weakened state as seen. He then says, "Now you appear ready to receive my orders." Lanae then replies, "Your weapons aren't enough to subdue me." She then gets up quick to the commander's shock and then flies into him. Now they engage on the ground. Now Lanae grabs his shock stick and sticks it on his mask. She then says, "Let's see how you like this," and then shocks his head area. Lanae next throws that stick away and punches the commander's mask with both of her fists, which dents it. Then suddenly he pushes a side button on his helmet and large spinning eyes appear on his mirror mask as shown. Cobra Commander now says, "Yes, Fairy, don't look away. Keep your eyes on my eyes." Then the Golden Fairy stares at them as they hypnotize her. She then softly replies, "What is that?" The commander responds by saying, "Stay very still, do not move. You cannot move, and don't disobey me," as seen remarking so. Now the Cobra Commander is seen standing up, but staggers a bit. He then turns off those spinning eyes and says, "Hey beauty, you've been the most fun I've had in a long time." Now a hypnotized Lanae sees him walk over and pick up his shock stick. He then runs to his knocked out guards and then kicks, stumps, and shocks them with his energy rod. The Cobra Commander has gone completely crazy and now says, "Do you see, fairy girl? This will happen if you disobey me. So do you want some of this too?" Lanae then replies, "I face worse than a dirtbag like you," as she lays on her stomach while facing the commander. We then see the commander yell and go into a fit of rage. Now Lanae frees herself from the hypnosis and then stands up as shown doing so. Then Cobra Commander is seen leaving this room in a hurry. Lanae then follows him through the exit behind his throne seat. Now Lanae sees that Cobra Commander has disappeared as she looks in both directions of the hallway as shown doing so. Then the Golden Fairy walks to the left and hears something near a right door. So she opens it and enters. Now a doctor is seen and a patient who's clamped to a lab bed, which is positioned near a side wall. Now the Cobra medic seems startled by Lanae's entrance. oh, this doctor is a woman who has a Cobra symbol on her lab coat. Lanae then walks up to that doctor, which stands near a guy patient, and says, "Where is your Cobra commander? And what are you doing to him?" Then the Cobra agent says, "Who?" So Lanae flames her hair and eyes again. Next, the scene goes to Cobra Commander, and he's shown taking his damaged mask off, including its connecting helmet. He appears to be in an armory. Now the commander opens a tall cabinet and sees a full-bodied armored suit. He then says, "She's in for it now and no more Mr. Nice Guy." The scene next returns to Lanae, who's in a room with a mad villain and a male patient that's tied to a bed. Then suddenly this guy opens his eyes and sees the Golden Fairy's fiery features. Now the Cobra doctor says, "Please don't hurt me. I don't know where the commander is." So Lanae shuts off her flamed hair and eyes. Lanae next looks at the man in bed and says, "Why are they confining you? Let this guy go." So the doctor looks down and sees an alert patient. She then replies, "He's awake, so I must prepare a sedative." Lanae then says, "Hold on, I'll have you out of this trap in no time." So she proceeds to unbind this prisoner. Then that doctor yells, "No, he's far too dangerous. It's Michael Myers. He's killed dozens of people." Then Michael grabs Lanae's right hand and replies, "Yes, I'm he who she says I am, and I've done very bad things, but I no longer desire to kill. So please listen to me now." Then Lanae pulls away from Michael. She now looks shocked that this soft-spoken man appears nothing like a very cruel killer. Then Michael Myers says, "I sense that you are a caring spirit, so you have to stop them." Now the Cobra doctor says, "He talks. This creature hasn't spoken in decades." Then Lanae replies, "Stop them? Do you mean Cobra Commander and this vile woman?" So Michael remarks, "Yes, but it's much worse than you could imagine." Now Lanae says, "Oh, I've seen and experienced more worse than others could handle." That doctor then tries to put Michael Myers to sleep by giving him that knockout drug. So Lanae tells the medic to step back because she wants to hear what he has to say. Next, Lanae, the Golden Fairy, has a flashback to a nightmare, and a masked slasher is shown swinging a knife at a girl. So the Golden Fairy arrives as this villain is trying to kill that girl. Now, Michael is heard saying, "Come here, do not run, because you're mine." So it appears that Myers is planning on killing the woman, and the Golden Fairy has heard that. Then that flashback ends and Michael is shown saying, "Look, you have to free me so we can stop them together. Cobra wants to clone armies of me to take over the world and defeat their enemy called G.I. Joe. But an army of me would bring about the end of all. That army would first kill all of my remaining kin, and then my full power and intelligence would be unlocked." Then Lanae gets closer to Michael, who looks like a normal blue-eyed 50-year-old guy, and says, "Why did you kill all of those innocent people? And how can I trust you?" So Michael replies, "When I was a child, a force of evil broke my will and compelled me to kill my sister. I tried to resist, but it was too strong. Then suddenly, Cobra Commander laughs and then rips that room's door off. He then enters while dressed in an armored suit and says, "I've heard enough of this psychopath's conversation." Then the Golden Fairy replies, "From what I've seen, you're the only psychopath here." Cobra Commander next remarks, "Then come get me if you dare," and then he leaves this room. Lanae then takes Michael's hand and says, "After I deal with the commander, I'll get you help." She then tells that doctor not to harm Michael Myers, as shown saying so. Now Lanae hurries out of the room and heads for Cobra Commander. Next, that doctor is seen closing the loose clamp over Michael, which the Golden Fairy opened. Now suddenly Michael's eyes change to a pure black and his skin turns pale. Then he grabs the Cobra doctor and then hurls her across his bed with his free arm. Now Michael is seen ripping all of the clamps up that held him down. That doctor then tries to stick Michael with a drug needle, so he slaps it away and breaks her neck. Michael then walks to a locker and then opens it, as seen doing so. Now his clothing and scary mask are shown. The end. Well, stay tuned for part 3 of this epic struggle, people.